Well, hey, Claudia, thank you so much for taking time to sit down with me.
It is my pleasure, Stephanie. It's so nice to be here, and thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah. So for those of you guys who don't know, Claudia is this dynamic, amazing lady with possibly the most energy I've, ever seen. I hear she's short, but I think she makes up for it with I can't tell just having met her via Zoom because she's like this massive personality. She's amazing. You've got to get to know her. And Claudia, when did we chat? It was earlier this year. It was April. Was it
Yeah,
April?
yeah, it
Yeah.
was, yeah, I think we first started.
So we first had a chat in April, right before things really started going super sideways and everything started going nuts. And we got along really well. And I said, we need to bring you in to the Grow Retreat as our closing keynote because you can stand up between everybody who's had a long day of learning and happy hour. And they're going to
Oh, yeah. I'll join everybody for happy hour. For sure.
Right? So
That's
I'm
how the deals are done. That's where all the networking happens. For sure. Yeah.
And no one's even, they're going to be so, I'm like, this is perfect. They're going to be so caught up with Claudia on stage. They're not even going to be thinking about happy hour, which is going to be quite a feat, but I'm excited.
Excellent. No, it sounds great. I'm so excited.
So tell us a little bit about you. I know I could tell the story, but you've lived it. You probably tell the story a little bit better because you.
Well, just in summary. So thank you all for the opportunity again. So I had a very strong corporate career in operations, finance, sales, marketing, 25 years of corporate career. Had 3 kids, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate the tear and the wear between your corporate life and your job and your kids and your home and trying to balance it all. And I left my corporate world and decided to start my own business. And that business started in 2009 and went on a little Canadian show, because I'm Canadian. So I went on a Canadian TV show called Dragon's Den, which is your US Shark Tank equivalent. Mm-hmm. So Kevin O'Leary is on Shark Tank, but he's actually Canadian. And he started on Dragon's Den. And I partnered with Kevin O'Leary in 2009 with the product that we launched. And that sort of started the whole entrepreneurial path. That led to speaking engagements, that led to new ideas, that led to expanding products worldwide, that expanded to buying other companies, that expanded to so many other amazing things.
Yeah, because now you run you run multiple, I don't know how many companies you run. I just keep telling everyone, she owns all these companies and she's the CEO of one, but she does what every entrepreneur dreams of, which is I want to have companies working for me and have a job that I love. That I love, that I get excited by, right?
Yes. I do remember the time where I was able to rise above it and not be in the weeds in the company. So not do the pick and pack, not do the mailing, not going to the post office, not doing stuff like that, but then starting to hire a team. And now, thank God, I have teams in all the different channels in marketing, finance, operations, etc. And I have an amazing group of people, and both international, Canadian and American. So it's lovely.
Yeah. And I know, so you've talked about the 3 pillars of success in business, and that, from what I understand, was key in making that transition, because a lot of businesses are stuck in that. Like you did retail, but they're stuck in the fulfillment, they're stuck in the business. They can't get to, everyone wants to get to the level you're at. They can't get there. Those 3 pillars were key for you, right? In getting to that next level.
Yeah, the 3 pillars, I'll answer that in 2 ways. The 3 pillars are, the 3 pillars of foundation are the possibility. That's what I call it. 3 pillars of possibility. They are understanding your business extremely well, understanding the finance of your life, which includes business and personal life, and then surrounding yourself on a personal basis with those surrounding you that will uplift you and rise you up and not tear you down. And those 3 things really do have to go together, because if you don't have one without the other, you don't have the strength, balance, and harmony that it takes to expand your business, but expand your world personally. Some people don't even have businesses, but they still might be coming to your retreat, and which is fantastic. So it's an overall holistic approach to how a person should handle their life or could handle their life by those 3 pillars of possibility. And then it's taking, when it comes to the finance and the business part, it's taking, everybody wants to say, oh, I can do that, it's not going to cost me much. Like I can send that to the mailbox. I can walk to the mailbox and send that in, or I can write that letter, I can write that email and not hire out somebody to do that. But I look at what is your unique ability in life? What do you do? What do I do very well? And I don't necessarily want to be an administrator anymore. I can do it. I can save money on it, but my time is worthwhile spent much better at strategic planning and growing the business versus spending the 20 minutes to walk to the mailbox to send an envelope. All of those roles are very key in a business and all extremely valued. So what is your unique ability in, and I look at it in the pillars of possibility on where your strengths will lie. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. So I'm curious, how did you land on these 3 pillars of possibility? How did how did that?
It just came, it just sort of came to me because that really is how I live my life. And that is how I grew Dig It Apparel, the first company. And without the people surrounding me, there's no way I could have done it. Without the financial understanding, which is, I didn't know what I didn't know coming into the business, even though I had a corporate background, but running a business is completely different than just being a cog in a big corporation with your own job description and perhaps your own budget to run. But when it's a holistic company, when you have to look at everything, it's a whole different matter. And then the financial is really important to grow the business. If you don't have the money, you can't grow the business. So cash flows, cash is king. They say cash is king, and that'll be true. So if you don't have the money, for me, because I'm in a manufacturing industry, if I don't have the money, I can't have the inventory. If I don't have the inventory, I can't make sales. One thing leads to another. So it's how to manage your finances, grow in marketing, add a salesperson, add marketing assets, do an advertisement, whatever the case may be, even doing social media. I don't do my own social media anymore. I have, in Dig It Apparel, we have a marketing team that runs our social media. So I used to, 100%. And in fact, when I started Dig It, Facebook was only just launching. So it wasn't even a thing back then. So I know I'm the dinosaur, so I know. But I don't do it myself anymore, which is yay, I don't.
We all feel like Facebook's been around forever, but it really, when you think about it, it really hasn't been. I mean, it has, but it hasn't been around that long. Business has gone through so many evolutions over the past few years. I mean, you had the advent of the internet and then the .com, the web. Now it's like if you don't have a website, you're not really in business.
Right.
And if you don't have a Facebook page, you're not really in business. Now it's gotten more complicated, and this is a really perfect kind of segue because we've just gone through a major shift in business.
Yes.
And I know people who are waiting for things to get back to normal. They're like, okay, so, and I'm like, no, this is going to impact how business is done this is a turning point. This isn't a blip in the radar, right? If you haven't adjusted, and I know you guys have been going through adjustments, but can we talk about this you guys are in retail. You were in one of the industries that was just smacked upside the head and dumped in the side of the road when everything went down.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. And traditionally our products are a spring product. So all our product was actually in store across North America. So we hadn't been paid yet. So we're in store thinking, then COVID hit, retail shut down, and I'm thinking, oh, good God, we're not going to get paid because we didn't really know how retail was going to open up again, what consumer spending was going to happen. And we had to, I had my boohoo session for about a day. I'm like, oh my gosh, granted, I'm like, but it's like, okay, you can't fight it. You got to reposition it. You got to deal with the facts, not wish it away. Because I think so many people are still wishing this pandemic away, but of course we wish it away, but it's not something that's going to go away fast. And on top of that, we were launching a very new product that was hitting the duty and travel industry. So retail was decimated. Travel was that's even more 6 feet further under the ground now.
Man.
So we had spent many dollars and resources in about to launch. We were supposed to be at a trade show to get purchase orders March 30th. COVID hit March 15th. So all our inventory, all our packaging, all our marketing, everything's poised and it stopped. So I did have a boohoo day. I'm like, but it's how do you reposition? So we completely, utterly within 14 days, repositioned the company from supporting a retail marketing to pushing B2C and getting the brand awareness up to consumer. So we shifted all our marketing dollars to consumer awareness, added, Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, amazing photography, got my team engaged in email marketing campaigns to B2B and B2C. And also I was about to go to a whole bunch of trade shows, physically to visit trade shows with my staff.
Right.
And those trade shows were shut down, of course. So I'm like, well, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I have to support my retailers. They're all wondering what to do because they're all now working from home, and the buyers are like, what do I do? Yeah. So I'm like, well, we're going to host a trade show in my office. So we have a marketing company as well. And virtually, I know enough technology. With their help, I was able to set up my computer systems. I put all my product into my office, and this is my office. I put all my product into my office, hosted a trade show, went live, told all the buyers around the world that I'm hosting the trade show. And it wasn't to sell product, it was to support them. So it wasn't a pitch session. It was, of course, talking about our products and how we will come out of this, but how we're supporting them and we're giving them better terms and we're here to help them. And we had a 96% attendance rate from around the world. Wow. 96%. Yeah. And
that's unheard of for virtual.
Yeah. But I think so many people were, I'm going to get on this Zoom. And it wasn't actually on Zoom. It was hosted on a different type of platform. But we captured emails. We followed up afterwards. We sent the recording afterwards for people that didn't come. We sent the recording to people that did come. We put it up on YouTube and had a private YouTube channel for our retailers. So we did everything to engage. But then as well, we did a B2C campaign, and we increased the web traffic to the site from March 30th, actually I should say April 15th, when the trade show launched in my office, to August 30th. We increased the website traffic 1,500% to our website.
That's awesome. But I love how, you said, look, I took a boo day. I gave myself time to process. And that's something I think we do forget as entrepreneurs. We have to be the boss and have the answer. And so we kind of try to push ahead, but we haven't had time to process. So you took the boo day. You said, I'm gonna have a day to sit in my, in
my comfies,
my comfies with a bottle of wine or two.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was with the bottle. I'm adding that in there. You said I'm gonna take space, right? and then you guys went two-pronged. You didn't say, okay. You said, look, we had one approach previously. We're going to diversify. We're going to make sure we have a couple of approaches to make sure that we are in strong shape, good shape for the next round of business, which is awesome.
Yeah. And supporting your employees is extremely important as well.
Yeah.
Being an employee, to be supported by your management is extremely important. So we have what I call a key deliverable report meeting every 2 weeks. And that's when all my team gets together virtually from the United States and Canada. And we sit and we talk about our tasks and our to-dos and where we're going, blah, blah, blah. And we took a KDR meeting and went in pajamas and went in our coffee and just talked. We talked about family. We talked about what we're experiencing. We talked about where we think it's going. And so they were part of the solution, not being dictated to. And that's amazing, because I have a beautiful, amazing team. Just amazing. We love each other. We hate each other, but we love each other.
Your family. You are. Right? And I think that's so important. I talk a lot about, I've been talking a lot about it because I just did a training on this. But, Gallup did a study just a couple of years ago, and they found that only 34% of the employees, in the US at least, were what they would consider actively engaged at work. And I've lived that job where you're not engaged, where you don't like going to work.
Me too.
It sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
And I think as small business owners, we have a responsibility to our teams to create an environment that helps them live up to their potential, because, and this is, one of my soapboxes here, but humans are incredible. We have so much capability, and it gets squashed by so many bad bosses. And so I love to hear that you've got this team and that you guys love working. I was actually just thinking of doing something similar. I was like, I wonder if I could so my team's all over the country. We're not all in one place, but I was thinking earlier, I was like, I wonder if I could put together a virtual get together like this, you know, and do a little team retreat. And so
Yeah,
now that's
yeah,
where my head's at for the day.
yeah, yeah. I like, but you have to do that because, you know, people aren't happy in their work, they're not happy in their life, and they're just, you know, you don't get productivity, you don't get
No,
buy-in.
no,
And my goodness, in 2020, have we ever had to have buy-in from everybody, right? We've
no.
had to have people commit to, I'm gonna do my best job I possibly can. And, you know, when people have issues, like we in Canada, in Toronto, I live in Toronto, and right now only our kids are going back to school. So I have a one teenager in high school still, and then my other two are past, they're in university and beyond. But I can't imagine being a mom right now with little people. But I started my business with little people. I had my three kids were little. So I'm supporting my staff to be at home. And if they have to have their 7-year-olds on Zoom with their teachers because they have to work at home and they're working at home with their little one and they have to have a break, I get it. Like you have to, right?
Yeah.
You have to adapt. So it's a strange world right now, but it's something that we can't fight. We have to adapt.
No, no. I was talking with someone earlier. Resiliency is the word of the year.
And endurance.
Yes,
Too.
yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I know we wanted to keep this short. We've already run a little bit. I just glanced at the clock and I was like, oh my gosh, we already ran a little longer than we wanted to.
Chat, right?
But this was good. I appreciate you so much. You are an amazing businesswoman, and you're such an inspiration, Claudia.
Thank you.
So,
Well,
thank
I'm
you.
so looking forward to coming down to the Grow Retreat, and I cannot wait. And you know, even if I have to self-isolate up here when I come back, I will do that because I'm so looking forward to coming down, and it'll be wonderful to meet you in person, Stephanie. Yeah.
I know it's going to be amazing. So again, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with us to share. And hopefully we'll have the chance to do this again before the end of the year.
That would be great. That'd be great. I'll keep you posted.
Sounds good.